My family and I were born in a little town just outside of Mayfair. It was a simple life, especially since for generations all my family did was raise sheep, butcher sheep, and sell sheep to local markets and farms. When I was born in 1871, I had to follow my family's boring tradition, and I worked as a butcher for our new sheep farm in Carnarvon. Every day I had to raise sheep, butcher sheep, feed sheep, shear sheep, dock sheep, sell sheep, and eat sheep, until I couldn't even look at them anymore without wanting them to disappear. Every night I had to hear them move around the pasture, and every morning I was awoken by their irritating baas. Finally, I decided enough was enough, so in 1893, when I was only 22 years old, I packed my bags and went to a port in Liverpool, leaving my family and their stupid sheep behind to go to the United States, where I heard and hoped that I could restart my life and make a name for myself as the finest butcher in Philly. I had managed to scrape together just enough money to sail second class on a boat called the Umbria. I entered the holding quarters, and to my surprise, it didn't look half bad. There was a bunk bed on each side of the room with a little wash basin in the middle. It smelled a little musty and salty, but I supposed I could get used to it over time. I was almost there, no pain, no worries, and absolutely no sheep. It was an uneventful sail, but after 10 days we arrived at the port in Ellis Island. I was crowded to the rails as we were getting nearer to the docks. We were shoved off the boat and to be escorted to the processing facility. I saw loads of steerage class passengers getting examined. The doctors checked their eyes, their ears, and their chests. They asked them questions and marked them with chalk. I considered myself lucky to have been in second class, otherwise I would have had to done the same thing. A few weeks later, I was working as an apprentice for the butcher shop in Tioga. It was hard and sloppy work cutting up poor quality meat to sell to foolish buyers at a hefty price. I chopped up countless chickens, cows, and sometimes, to my dismay, the occasional sheep. But I had saved up enough money to rent a bigger flat, and I went to work another butchering job, this one in a small meat section of a small market. That's where I met Ella Botto, the daughter of the owner. It was love at first sight, and a year later we were wed, and we had used my saved money to open a shop of our own, selling high quality meat at a fair price. In the end, we managed to have raised 10 children, 4 girls and 6 boys. They were Catherine, Dorothy, Eleanor, Margaret, Henry, Edward, Frank Jr., Bart, Malcolm, and Rob. We had plenty of pets. I had bought and cared for multiple dachshunds of traditional color, but since I was too lazy to name them, they were all called Fearfoot, the German word for 4 feet. In the last chapters of my life, my beloved wife Ella tragically died of a hot dog. It was at the dinner table, and Ella complained about her meal, saying it was the last hot dog she would ever eat. She was right. Turns out, the next morning, we found her dead from a heart attack because of one hot dog. I was devastated, but strangely, easily found a way to carry on without her. In fact, I even paid extra in the obituary to read "Death by Hot Dog," just to let my dear Ella know I still had my sense of humor. I guess you could say I'm doing alright. I have my house, my kids, my job, my dogs, and absolutely no sheep.